Hello everyone, here I am. As you can see, the strategy is already decided, and if you're wondering, I may be a little bit slow on the reaction times, but mainly because I'm eating, because I just got home from job, shitty job, but yeah, train home was a little bit late, so it took me a little bit while to come here, but I think I got everything, let's say, in place for the race. So yeah, that being said, sadly Giovinazzi starts 7th, which is a little bit less than I expected, but there was traffic during qualifying, so yeah, a little bit unlucky, but we'll make it up. We'll make up for it in the race. So we start while I eat some pizza, because of course a fucking Italian eats some pizza after work. And now the real question is, am I unmuted or did I... No, yeah, I am unmuted. So yeah, hello everyone, welcome to Formula 1, I guess. We're about to go racism. And here we are. Last race of the season. No, we don't, but that's not gonna be an issue, hopefully. Anyway, we start. There was a strange sound in my home. Hope nothing is okay. But yeah, Giovinazzi has a little bit of a tall order ahead of himself. Hamilton wants to win this race once again. And we are looking kinda good, hopefully, for the last race of the season. Giovinazzi already up 1 place. And now fighting the might of both Red Bulls. While everyone is in a little bit of a train. Hamilton is a little bit closer than I would like into this corner. But thankfully, he decides not to attack, which is, well, nice to see, really. Also, we are saving tire for the first stint. We will go a little bit faster on the second and then still save tire on the third stint. As usual, as you can see, it's a 2-stopper. Although 1-stopper could be viable, I think it's a little bit too slow to make it work, so... And also I don't like being undercut, so I'd rather go full pocket wibble as usual, while keeping the tires as alive as possible. Man, this is some nice pizza, I have to say. There we go, DRS available. Norris sets the fastest lap on lap 1, which is nice. I am just waiting for other people to just stop using battery, because we will keep it on for a little bit longer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As I said before, sorry if I am not talking too much, but it's a little bit difficult to eat and talk at the same time. Or also gaming, but you know, as Hamilton goes for the fucking lead, they used to call me the multitask min maxer, which is not true, I just made it up. Jesus, that's aggressive, Hamilton. Sadly that won't work with ya. Here we go, back on the inside. Easy. The more the fight drags on, also Giovinazzi overtook Albon, I kinda missed that. I'm gonna check it real quick. Joe, what did you do? Well, that's an orthodox. That's nice also. Great job, Joe. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, hopefully we can pull out a 1-second gap. Leclerc gets the fastest lap as well, for good measure. Hamilton seems still a little bit too interested in staying in the DRS gap, which is, well, not something I'm too fond of, but it's alright, I guess. We'll have a little bit of a scrap, I guess. Giovinazzi, however, couldn't get the DRS from Parrots, which means that now he's gonna be a little bit vulnerable through this straight, and probably will be overtaken by Arbon. I can see that right behind. We're okay with Hamilton. I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go. As I expect. Holy shit, that's a braking. That's brave. Probably once this lap is over, I'm gonna stop using the battery, which I feel like it's a smart choice, probably. So there we go, through Sector 3 now. Can Leclerc pull out a 1 second gap from Hamilton and, you know, go away once and for all? I think he is. Just using the last bit of battery he has. Right here. Yep, just above the second window, and we should be able to run away, so... No more battery for you, Leclerc. And Joe, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you quite soon to stop using battery. Not just yet, maybe because you are getting closer to Paris. There we go. Now you can stop using battery. And as I say that, time to eat another piece of pizza. Nice. Absolutely stellar, I have to say. Oh. Hamilton and Norris fighting. Giovinazzi now in DRS with Perez and should be able to complete the maneuver. Should be in a little bit of a predicament though in the second straight, so let's see how it goes. That was a little bit of corner cutting, but alright, I guess. I think it's gonna be fine. There we go. Norris, however, managed to use the DRS and is trying to slingshot his way to Leclerc. Which could work, but hopefully doesn't. While Giovinazzi manages to get into P4, trying to break the DRS window from Perez, and I think he managed to do so. So yeah, the Shitbox 03 working flawlessly so far. And now we get into lap number 5. You know, I think I absolutely love about this game. I mean, not just this game, but this track in particular. I mean, I know Abu Dhabi is not really too popular of a track. I mean, both for people who knew this track since 2009, which I mean, I think this track is not good because it's not really raceable in racing conditions. And then other people hate this track for, let's say, more recent events about a certain championship, but we're not gonna talk about those here. But still, I kinda like this track, and I think I kinda like it's the gimmick of the track going from daylight start to the night race at the end, which I feel like is a little bit underrated, really. We don't have many tracks that have this sunset setting, and I feel like more tracks should. Like, I think it changes the mood towards the end of the race quite dramatically, which is a thing I like. Anyway, more drama happening for Alpine and Mercedes as they get a mechanical issue, although nothing too really too bad. While meanwhile, Giovinazzi manages to get closer and closer and closer to Hamilton, and probably will be able to overtake him here. I mean, not here in the hairpin, hopefully. Well, the two Red Bulls crop is out behind, so Perez versus Albon is getting kinda heated up. And I think Hamilton has DRS, yes he does, so maybe it's not gonna be an easy maneuver. Still, it's gonna be nice. There we go, all three of them together. Who's gonna have the better line into the How's that? Turn 4? No, actually, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should be turn 8, I guess. Don't know. Anyway, Hamilton gets ahead of Norris, and now Norris trying to fight back into the braking zone, and doing so quite nicely. However, they're still side by side. Kinda crazy to think. And none of them want to yield, so yeah, we're gonna just stay there, I guess. Get Red Bulls involved as well, just to have a little bit of more fun. And then once the time comes, of course, we're gonna attack, but not right yet. Not just of yet. Got pinged on Discord in the meanwhile. It's everyone, of course it is. There we go, round 2. It's gonna be difficult to overtake, of course, in these situations, but I'm confident we should be able to do so. Eventually. Oh, there we go. This could be nice. Or absolutely horrible if it goes like this, as usual. Since you two are gonna fight, let me just not use battery, really. We might fall back. Also, what happened to my game? Right, had a little bit of a freeze, I guess. A little bit worrying. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Guys, it's okay. Nothing too bad. But yeah, we're gonna save a little bit of battery, because if these two keep fighting on, there is no real point in using battery. I mean, we could use that to stay ahead of the Red Bulls, of course, but I'd rather save a little bit more battery in these laps before trying and get other sizes of attack on them. Actually, I think Norris is not using battery right now. He's on harvest as well, so let's actually go full fuck it with ball and attack him. Let's see if I were right or not. Come on, Joe. You can go on this side if you want. Well, alright, I guess. Come on, use some battery. Get at least ahead of Norris. If you manage to do so, we should be able to actually get to Hamilton. I cannot fucking believe it. How did you fail that overtake? Like, it was literally a straight line pass, Joe. How did you fail that? Well, whatever. Just have us battery once more. We'll try again later, I guess. I mean, actually, wait a minute. Don't know how. Norris lost a shit ton of time from Hamilton, so he should not have the arrest now, so it should be easy to overtake. Allegedly. So please, Joe, make the overtake. There we go. Was it that hard? I'm gonna tell you to use battery now just to be sure on the second straight, because I feel like Norris is gonna counterattack quite easily. And I kinda don't want that to happen. Yes, he is counterattacking, but we got a shit ton of traction thanks to the battery. So now, I'm gonna tell you to stop deploying, of course, and just chill out and fight with Hamilton if you want. Almost out of pizza here, by the way. Ah, nice little pizza. Right, so we're dropping Norris, which is fantastic. And now, technically, we should be able to get ahead of Hamilton. Although I'm not too sure, so we'll keep an eye on that, of course. DRS gets open around now. And would you look at that, another easy maneuver. Now I'm not gonna tell Giovinazzi to use battery this lap, although I should, but let's see if I can actually pull this off without using battery. If I could, that'd be fantastic. And I think I'm gonna be able to, so fantastic. Right. I should have finished my pizza. There's no more pizza. Sadly. And behind I just saw Perez overtaking Norris. I kinda missed that, sorry about that. But yeah, Giovinazzi managed to pull out a second gap from Hamilton, so we should be fine, and the race pace should bring us away from Lewis. And in the meanwhile, Norris actually fell back behind Perez, and I don't think he's gonna stay there for longer. He's probably gonna go for it. I mean, he was kind of aggressive into the hairpin, and I think he's gonna be even more aggressive now with the DRS open. So let's see what he's gonna try now. Also, shit, our tower is actually kinda bad. I mean, not really compared to other ones. Yep, we're still good, but yeah, this is higher than I expected. Our tower, so we should keep an eye on that. I'm a little bit more worried about Hamilton, because if he goes into the pit lane before Giovinazzi is gonna be able to do an undercut, which, as you may know, can be quite effective in this game. But still, I'm not too worried about track position. We should have the pace to fight back if needed. So as for now, everything is working out quite fine. The car is looking absolutely fantastic here in Abu Dhabi. Feel like probably it's not too much of a nice speed circuit, so our car is able to actually get the nimbleness out of the corners and just get timed on, which is, you know, the best thing you can hope for from a car when it goes fast around the corners and in the straight sometimes too. Just sometimes though. Anyway, through this sector, Russell's the first one to go into the pit lane. Curiously. I'm actually curious to see if Norris can actually gain back to Hamilton now that the mediums should be faster than the softs. I feel like he should, but still, we know that Hamilton can drive quite fast. Also, Bottas' engine issue just got a tad bit worse, which should be maybe a little bit of a problem, just a bit, not too much. There we go, Perez doesn't want to let Norris go away, so he's gonna stay as close as possible to him. But yeah, through the traction zone, once again, Norris has it. So quite easily, stays ahead. Well, Perez still uses DRS to try and get back, and I think he's gonna try and attack, but Norris defends quite nicely. Still, Perez tries the inside and gets the grip done, and the maneuver done. So Norris a little bit dumbfolded, but still in this race, so nothing too bad really. Now the gap from Hamilton to Giovinazzi is 3 seconds, so now the tire saving strategy is in full effect. Although as you can see by saving tires, we are actually getting them a little bit too cold. I'm still expecting to push the car to the limit. I just saw something which is a little bit worrying. What the hell is going on? Why is my stream a little bit off. Don't know. Well, alright, I'm gonna completely ignore that, so sorry if the quality is a little bit lower than usual, if I'm a little bit behind. Apparently my internet doesn't like me today, which is, well, not something I'm kinda fond of, but it's alright, I guess. So, while that happens, we can hopefully witness Norris versus Perez once again, while they both get closer to Hamilton. So, the fight is quite on, I have to say. And maybe, just maybe, can see Norris get a little bit more triumphant near the end of the soft tire stint, which should be around these laps. So now Perez once again doing his specialty, which is waiting for the second DRS zone to counter-attack, and once again does it quite nicely, I have to say. Norris has no real answer and has to fall back, sadly for him. So maybe, wait, actually Norris is trying to fight back, although he's not gonna be able to break that late round outside, so he has to slot behind Perez and maybe try something else. This could go on for quite a while, I think, which could be a little bit problematic for the McLaren, but I mean it's not a big deal at this point. The championship is pretty much done all around, and we are getting closer to our pit window with Giovinazzi, which means that we're gonna soon enough start pushing with him, just to get a little bit of time out of the tires and, you know, a little bit of a gap from Hamilton, which is the thing that I'm a little bit most worried the most of, which is the worst phrase I have ever said in English, so fantastic once again. As all the drivers get into the pit lane, let's see if Norris is gonna go full aggressive or if he's gonna wait for a better chance to attack Perez. Now of course he's gonna go full aggressive, there we go, he's already attacking. No, actually he's slowing down quite a shit ton. Holy shit, what? Why did he slow down so much? Norris, what are you doing? Maybe he's waiting for the second straight. He's trying not to fall into the trap that Perez has set up since the very beginning. And I feel like he's not gonna fall this time. There we go. Now, second straight, DRS, nice traction. Or maybe it's Perez. Actually, I think like it's Perez is using, but yeah, he's using a shit ton of battery. I can feel that. There's no way he's gained so much time on Hamilton without using battery. So yeah, as my P-Doll Sergio Perez uses the battery to get closer to Lewis, the fucking Hamilton. Now we get a little bit more of a fight here in sector 3. And also a yellow flag, which is, I think, Gasly. Is it Gasly? Let me check real quick. Just in a moment. Joe, it's actually Joe. Let's see what happened to Joe. Into the famous little corner, he gets a little bit around, let's say, although it's not the right way to heat up the tires, really. And now, I think we can push with Joe. So Joe, use everything you have in the tire, thank you. Push like God itself is chasing you. Let's see if we can actually gain some time like this, or if it's gonna be worthless and just burning up the tires. Probably it's gonna be burning up the tires, but I still have some hope that it's gonna work quite nicely. Hopefully. Really, hopefully. No clue, really. Anyway. There we go, onto the straight. Now both have DRS, so Norris is not gonna have the usual advantage. I think now Hamilton is using some battery. Look at that, still a little bit of a look from Norris, which is not gonna end up in a maneuver, so far not so good. And I think, yeah, Perez doesn't have DRS this time, so Norris now has finally the chance to attack and is gonna go for the fucking outside. Is it gonna work? I don't think it is. Yep, it is not gonna work, so yeah, a little bit of a dumb choice from Norris, but whatever works, I guess, for ya. Perez and Norris still fighting hard. As hard as humanly possible. I'm gonna see this from the helicopter cam. There we go. We got the only sector that doesn't have the helicopter cam, sadly, but we are so back, and Perez actually goes into the pit lane, so this battle is not gonna see the end just of yet. Perez into the pit lane. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna get on? He's gonna go onto the mediums, so probably he's gonna go with all same strategy. Don't worry, you didn't miss much, just Joe spinning out, and that's about it. There was a nice battle between Perez and Norris, also double stack actually from Red Bull, so Norris is under risk of an undercut, although he's on the mediums. Why is Joe trying to survive? I mean, I asked him to push, he's close to the pit stop, so I just decided to use all the tires left to just go full attack and gain a little bit of time from Hamilton, because I feel like Hamilton is probably gonna pit soon, so I'd rather get the largest gap as possible before he goes into the pit lane and tries to undercut us, so yeah, that's the main reason he's driving as fast as possible. Meanwhile, now that Norris doesn't have the, you know, the hinder of having Perez in the middle and having to fight every single lap, he can use the medium tires, which are at this point very much faster than the softs, to finally attack Hamilton. Although I feel like Hamilton is not gonna give him the, you know, the benefit of trying to attack him, because I feel like this is gonna be his pit lap. So let's see, is Lewis gonna pit this lap or is he gonna stay out? I feel like he's gonna pit probably into the last corner, and as I expected correctly, Hamilton goes into the pit lane, and let's see what kind of strategy is he deploying. As I said, here in Abu Dhabi, a one-stopper is kind of viable, although I don't feel like it's fast enough to actually be doable by the top teams, and it went into onto the mediums, so it's probably on our own strategy as well. So yeah, let's keep an eye. He had the last 7-second gap from Giovinazzi. We should be able to be safe by the time Joe goes into the pit lane, but of course it's never too safe. It's better to be safe than sorry, as we say. So Joe should beat next lap, while Hamilton comes out. Is he gonna be behind Perez? Perez is, well, right there, but still ahead. Although Perez now will have the arrest, so the mate, the pedal, is gonna be able to try and attack, especially now that he has warm tires, while Hamilton has to hit up his. So let's see, onto the DRS zone, and Perez wastes no time to try and attack him. So now, this is effectively the battle for P3, and Perez, he's in 3rd place for now. Yeah, Sauber is in 6th, although I feel like he still has to pit. He's on the hards, I think. He's on the hards. Yes, it is, so, you know, he could be going for a one-stop, Piastri. That'd be interesting in my opinion, but it's hard to tell from this point of view, so yeah, let's see. Maybe Piastri will be able to score another podium this season, which, well, it's crazy that it happened once, but you never know, could happen once again. Anyway, we go on with the strategy for Giovinazzi, so he's gonna pit this lap, which is of course lap 18. Well, Leclerc should be going for another lap, and I kind of forgot to tell Leclerc to push, so I'm gonna do it now, of course. Norris is gonna pit, which is earlier than I expected, and he's gonna go onto the hards. Alright, is Norris going for a one-stop? Yeah, once the race is over, I'm gonna do that as usual. Anyway, Perez is ahead of Hamilton. He's getting here near the pit lane, and I think Norris is gonna come out behind. Yeah, quite easily behind these two, so yeah, as you see, the undercut is working wonders, of course. But now, let's concentrate on this guy here. Actually, no, let's concentrate on Perez, because he's fighting Ricciardo, which of course is yet to pit. And my pedal, Sergio Perez, doesn't really want to lose too much time behind the Haas, so yeah, it feels too early to me as well, so that's the main reason I'm also thinking that maybe Piastri is the main candidate for a one-stopper, while Norris, I don't think is gonna go for a one-stopper. Probably is gonna be like soft, hard, softs, which is, well, similar to the medium, softs, mediums, but probably slower because, you know, the hards are not that good. And also, wait, we got an issue, actually. Oh, it's the tires, okay. Yeah, the tires got a little bit to wear on Giovinazzi, but it was just about as he was coming into the pit lane, so no issues really. So Leclerc is gonna pit on the next lap, but now let's check out the pit stop from Giovinazzi. Let's see if we are still ahead also, which, you know, I feel like it's kind of crucial, really. Oh, there's Maloney coming into the main straight. I think we are quite easily ahead of Perez and everyone else, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Anyway, night is falling here in Abu Dhabi, which is, once again, the main reason I like this track. And we are right behind Piastri, with new tires, and now we just gotta, I'm not saying push a little bit, we're just gonna stay on normal pace, really, and just let everything happen. Meanwhile, here's Hamilton, here's Ricciardo, And here's Hamilton overtaking Ricciardo into the hairpin, so fantastic maneuver once again, and the chase is once again back on for Hamilton, who's trying once again, of course, to catch Perez, who with that undercut managed to do something quite amazing. Yeah, the Piastri podium is always closer than we may think, although Piastri has a little bit of an issue with the engine, so maybe a little bit slower than usual now, but I still believe that it's gonna happen somehow. Anyway, Leclerc into the pit lane now for his scheduled pit stop. And what tires are gonna put on? Of course the bets are on, but the answer is quite known, which is of course the mediums. There we go, it's gonna be a regular stop, 2.6 really. And he's gonna come out probably... He's gonna be ahead of Maloney actually. I think it is. Let's see, Maloney onto the last corner now. Leclerc removes the pit limiter right about now. There we go, yeah, he's still ahead, quite easily. Anyway, Joe. How are you doing? Trying to catch Piastri? Is he a little bit too fast? Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but we're gonna get him sooner rather than later, so don't worry about it too much. Hamilton, meanwhile, is 2.6 behind Perez. Perez trying his absolute best to catch Giovinazzi and actually doing quite well, I think. Because he's 2.3 seconds behind, maybe that's due to the tire heating. Actually, it would make sense. I feel like this is a track where tire heating is a little bit more difficult than it looks like, so you actually get not one, but 2 laps of tires getting not a lot of temperature inside of them, so that makes sense, and that'd be a little bit cool, actually. But, yeah. Perez, I'm not too worried about him, really. He can push as much as he wants. He's gonna burn up his tires if he does. And yes, actually doing that. While we are fighting instead Tsunoda and Piastri actually gets ahead of Tsunoda, and we are here, which we should not be here really. We should try and find a way through, and well, Giovinazzi is finding a way through. There he goes, into the braking zone to overtake Tsunoda. I'm gonna use a little bit of power actually. I don't wanna fight with you, not too much at least. Oh, Tsunoda, you always have to be like this, don't you? Well, look at this. This is how you do a maneuver, and Jesus Christ, that was a hell of a maneuver, I have to say. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on the overtake on, just to allow Giovinazzi to get through the traffic faster than Perez and, you know, just avoid the little issues that may arise. Maintaining the agenda is my top priority, absolutely. The Piastri podium is top of the agenda every single time. You know, and I'm a little bit ashamed that my team is that OP, because I feel like this would have been a nice season, really, without my dominance. Like, you would have gotten Piastri outperforming Kick Sauber every single race and probably getting more podiums than usual. And, you know, the usual shenanigans as well. So yeah, as Giovinazzi gets through our friend Piastri, now we're gonna still use a little bit of battery to get into Maloney, DRS, and maybe overtake him as well. So if we manage to get ahead, I'm gonna stop using battery, of course. And then I'm gonna tell him to, you know, chill out and just enjoy the ride for the rest of the race. DRS is open, battery is on, we're gonna use and drain the battery a little bit, and I feel like this is about everything we needed. So, normal battery, into the braking zone, and we are absolutely fine. Anyway, here's Perez, got ahead of Tsunoda, a little bit too late than he would have liked. And let's go on board with him, actually. Well, he's chasing after Piastri, who actually caught Maloney, which is surprising considering the, you know, the car difference. But I'm not gonna complain, it's funny enough, so I'm gonna be happy for that, really. And well, as I say that, Piastri goes into the pit lane, so let's check out his pit stop. And can he actually get ahead of Maloney? That'd be funny, I think. I mean, Kick Sauber is not really known for good overtakes. In all of this, Perez gets a little bit of an issue. So, Piastri goes onto the mediums, but I'm not sure he can go to the end with those tires, really. Also, fastest lap by fucking Ocon of all people. Alright, makes sense, I guess. Anyway, back to Perez, and back to Tsunoda, now fighting with Lewis Hamilton, who gets the DRS and gets ahead of Yuki, and now, hoping that the engine issue with Perez is a little bit graver than it looks, he's gonna probably aim to try and overtake the Red Bull in the next few laps, and considering he has small tires, this should be, well, quite an easy pass. An easy battle, really, but we know in this game that fight can actually go quite long and quite dramatically if needed, so I'm gonna be looking at this quite interestingly. Or at least trying to be looking at this in the most interesting way as possible. In the meanwhile, let me just check what they brought me. Yeah, Prix. Sorry if you heard a little bit of music, that was me opening a video. Anyway, let's ignore my autism and just go back to racism. And here, into the famous Latifi corner, Hamilton catched up to Perez. And I feel like that little bit of an engine issues is getting a little bit more serious while Tsunoda pits behind them, leaving Albon and Norris able to fight. And yeah, I feel like by the fact that he set the fastest lap, Hamilton probably was also using a little bit of batteries. Now he's trying to get somehow ahead of Perez. Let's see if into the DRS zone he's gonna be able to do so, and if Perez is gonna be doing the good old switcheroo we've seen with Norris a little bit few laps ago. So now into the braking point, into the DRS opening zone. He's 3 tenths behind, and I feel like it's gonna be an easy maneuver. Or is it? Going for the inside, into the braking zone now, and Hamilton is, well, ahead for now, although Perez is fighting out back. And I feel like, who's got DRS? I think Perez did. Yes, Perez did. So Perez, I feel like he's gonna go back ahead with DRS. So as I said, Perez is a little bit too good with this switcheroo here in the second straight, but I guess Hamilton will have to fight through for a little bit longer if he wants to get through. So this fight might be a little bit more interesting than it looks like. So let's go to the helicopter cam and look at this in the most exciting way as possible, which is from above. Now these are also Norris versus Albon, but I'm not gonna check that out because it's a little bit more behind, and I'm a little bit more interested in seeing how Hamilton can manage maybe to mitigate the Sergio Perez problem. And we got a yellow flag in all of this. What happened? Probably nothing too bad because the yellow flag went away quite soon, and Norris went wide. Well, I mean, nothing too bad, but still, yeah, nothing too bad really. it was a little bit more over dramatic, but really it was just a little bit of a wide moment. So yeah, a little bit of time lost for Norris, but nothing too dramatic or drastic really. So now we can witness old friend Leclerc, actually not Leclerc, what the fuck am I saying, Leclerc is just enjoying his time at the lead. Here is our friend Lewis Hamilton, now onto the main straight, getting ready to open DRS right now. And will he be able to actually complete the maneuver and get ahead before the braking zone and probably stay ahead on the second straight, or is he gonna have a little bit of trouble? Into the braking zone now, Perez is still there, he's gonna brake as late as possible. Hamilton though, think is ahead, yes it is, but Perez still fights back and it's the same situation. Now Perez will have DRS. And you know what happens when you get DRS here. What happens is that Perez can easily pull ahead, and once again, the overtaking maneuver by Hamilton fails onto the braking zone of this long-ass corner, which I don't think has a name. In the meanwhile, Norris actually gained back all the time he lost, and I think he's gonna go for it on Albon, yes he is. And quite easily gets ahead of the Red Bull, who's gonna try to fight back, but of course with no real success. So back to Hamilton now. Lewis still trying to fight. In all of this also Piastri still catching back up to Ocon for maybe a little bit more points in this last race of the season. And we got a yellow flag. Who died this time? I think it's Bottas. Is it Bottas? Bottas, you good? Looks like a graver yellow flag actually. It's Bottas who spun at turn 7. So he did the same as Guan Yu Zhou, I think. Yes he did. Well, I mean, nothing too bad really, but of course it's not something you want. Also in all of this, Zane Maloney set the fastest lap, 1:26.6, as we go into lap 25 out of 58. Now, once again, DRS open for Lewis Hamilton. He's gonna be able to get through, or is it gonna be a repeat of the last 2 laps? It looked like it was a little bit more far back this time. It's gonna brake as late as possible. Perez keeping the nose in, and I think it's gonna be a repeat. I mean, it's a little bit more ahead, Hamilton, but Perez still has DRS, so I think he's gonna be able to pull through once again. Let's see, Perez behind, trying to get close, but I think into the braking zone actually Hamilton will have him. So the overtaking maneuver is done, and Hamilton finally gets into P3. after a little bit of a nice battle between these two. Although Perez, I feel like he wants to react from the attack with Hamilton, and he's using, I feel like, a lot of battery to trying to stay close and maybe counter-attack into this lap as well. Sun is getting once again lower and lower and lower, and the battle is heating up once again. All the while, Piastri tries to maintain the agenda alive. We should keep an eye on Norris though, because I feel like he's just 6.5 seconds behind, which is kind of the same time Hamilton has from Giovinazzi, but since he's on the hard, he can actually push us out as he wants without having to, you know, worry about tire degradation. So I feel like Norris could be a little bit of a menace for this duo here. But only time will tell, really. We should just enjoy the battle for now and see what happens in the next few laps. All the while, Hamilton ahead of Perez, but Perez now has DRS and surely he's gonna fight back. And by fight back I mean that he's gonna absolutely blast through on the straight. And the real question is Hamilton gonna be able to do what Perez did to him? Well, Perez cuts him off before the braking zone, so that's already a big no-no. But that's not gonna stop him from trying, of course. So DRS gets open. And now let's see if Hamilton can try an attack into this corner. He's gonna stay close, but nope, he's not able. So sadly, all the work Hamilton did in the last lap undone by the undying will of Perez. All the while Norris is not able to get through, so maybe I was wrong about the whole hard tire thingy. Or maybe not, only time will tell. These two still fight, of course. Into the main straight. They actually reduced the gap to Giovinazzi, which is unexpected, really. I mean, it's still 5 point something, but I feel like it was 6 seconds, so I don't know how Perez is managing to close the gap back to Giovinazzi, but I feel like this should not really be happening. Maybe Perez is still attacking with the battery, that's also something that may be happening, really. But yeah, I was expecting to get a little bit more of a gap, but maybe we will be able later on. I mean, right now the race is still long and we are kinda halfway through, so there's nothing really to worry about. Will Hamilton attack once again? Close, maybe he's gonna try into the second straight. Or maybe he's not, who knows what goes into the mind of an 8-time, actually 7, but whatever, world champion. Getting closer with DRS. Getting into the inside and into a late brake maneuver. Who gets him ahead of the Red Bull of the pedal Sergio Perez. Will Perez let this one slide, or will actually see him stay there and fight once again through? Well, for now he's staying here, through the Latifi corner, the most famous corner in all of Abu Dhabi. Also, there is another issue for another car, which I feel like is Mick Schumacher, is it? Yep, it is. So let's see. Sergio the pedal Perez into turn 1, not close enough. Into turn 2. Into turn 3. And now into the breaking point of turn 4. I think it's turn 4, should be. And now Hamilton, once again, vulnerable on the main straight. I was gonna say breathable, but I don't think that's the right time to describe the situation, so I'll just say vulnerable, which I feel like it's more accurate probably. Perez is close, but not enough to mount an attack, so maybe, just maybe, he's gonna be able to do so here. So let's see, onto the straight. Ooh, actually Hamilton is using a lot of battery, so maybe Perez won't be able to actually attack him. He's gonna get close, of course, with the DRS, but I don't think he's gonna be just able to attack him. And yeah, I feel like Hamilton is using a shit ton of battery, which can be noticed by the fact that he's closing back up to Giovinazzi, which is, once again, as I said, a thing I don't kinda want to happen, but it's looking like it's happening, so yeah. In all this, Perez finally lost the DRS from Hamilton. So Hamilton now 5 seconds behind Giovinazzi. Is he gonna be able to actually close up the gap and, you know, do something about the current position he's in, which is P3, but could be easily P2 if he actually goes faster. I wonder if they changed the Red Bull on the side of Perez. Actually, yes it does, because as this game works, when there's a driver transfer, the only way you can get the original helmet for a driver is when he drives with his original team in 2024. So for example, the main reason Perez still has his original helmet, well actually his engine issues got a little bit worse, is because he's still racing in Red Bull. So the main reason you actually see him with this helmet here is because that's his actual helmet in real life, and he's still driving for Red Bull, and so the game actually doesn't change it. When a driver changes car in the game, the car of course gets the new number, which is the one of the driver, but also the driver has to change the helmet to have one which is a little bit generic of course, but has the team colors on it. So every single team has its own like custom helmet for the new drivers. Like for example Bottas, who is driving for Mercedes, has an helmet which is, as you can see, white, blue, black and red, which are the colors of course used by Mercedes. And you may ask, wait the fuck a minute, where's the red? As you can see, the Ineos sponsor on top of the car is red. Joe is still here. Maney is driving for Alpine, and as you can see, he has an helmet which is pink and blue, and so does Hauger, although with a different configuration. Mick Schumacher, also yellow and green. Ricciardo, you guessed it, black, red and white. Gasly, blue and white, because it's Williams. Festi, orange and black, because that's of course still the color of McLaren. Tsunoda, he has the original helmet, because he's still in his team. But Ocon, red, white and blue, that's the color of this car. And the Piastri, of course, green and black, which is the color of course of the Kicksauber. So does Maloney with a kind of Sainz-ish, let's say, helmet. So does Albon with the Red Bull colors. And so does Hamilton with a red and white and yellow helmet. Yeah, that'd be funny. Funny, but also kind of would make sense, in my opinion. Verstappen, I would like to see what kind of helmet he would get, but as you can see, it's the second year in a row that Verstappen got killed out of Formula 1, so we don't kinda have a way to know. I could still mod the game to get him back in somehow, but I think after Season 3 I either change team to go into, I don't know, something a little bit more cursed. I was thinking about maybe trying to get the Haas back into winning position, or I don't know, I'll just take my time to think about it. But really, I think after third season and getting the championship, I'm pretty much good with this game, and I'm ready to start maybe another championship with another team, or just do whatever. I don't know. After all, this game is a little bit more of a sandbox, so I'd rather use it as a sandbox, really. Yeah, I mean, this game, Max, after Season 1 was like, yeah, I don't wanna... Red Bull didn't actually get me a contract, so I'm just gonna chill out, so... Yeah, he went somewhere, I think. He went to F0, probably. Yeah, would make sense for him, I guess. I feel like Hamilton would be I feel like Verstappen would be the kind of guy who would love playing games such as F0 or so on. I mean, he plays Minecraft. He's autistic enough to enjoy these kind of games, really. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I've been able to stream all the races of this season. I'm a little bit sad that sadly the races weren't really too exciting, mainly because my car is a little bit too powerful to have competition, but that's you know, that's suffering from success, I guess. But still, it was fun, and we had some more interesting races from time to time, like, I don't know, the first one was Spain. Then we got, Brazil wasn't really too interesting, but we got like the Monza race, the Las Vegas race was absolutely fantastic. Hungary also. Although I didn't really enjoy that race, Jeddah was surely something interesting to see. And so on, I mean, there were surely some interesting races here. So, to be completely honest, I'm kinda fine and happy that I managed to do this kind of thing. Also, yeah, it's fun to yap on live, really. Takes a little bit of effort, like sometimes, especially after work. I mean, right now I woke up at 6 AM this morning to get a train and yellow flag, by the way. What happened? Ah, yeah, don't worry about that. Like, take your time. Also, Gasly had a spin. Let me guess, the same? No, actually, a different corner. Let's see. And he spun it. nothing too bad. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I mean, the only thing is that streaming takes a little bit of energy. Like, you have to come. I mean, this morning I woke up at 6 a.m., took my train, got to work at was it 8 and half past 8 a.m. Started working, stopped working at 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m. actually. Got the train and went back home and actually reached my home here at 7 p.m. should be, yeah, almost 8 p.m. because we got a little bit of a delay on the train back home. But yeah, you get the point. Like, I'm a little bit exhausted right now, but it's okay. I can still yap and enjoy the race. I mean, my team is kind of auto-sufficient really, so I can just yap a little bit, which is fine enough to me. Also, was thinking, I mean, doing this stream thingy, actually it's kind of funny because thanks to these streams I actually managed to, you know, get a lot of memes together because of this series. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but at the beginning of every single stream, due to the fact that they still have to set up some things usually, I have this screen right here, which is a compilation of shitposts that I did on this game. But like, the main thing I kind of enjoy is the fact that this gives me confidence of the fact that actually streaming is not that hard, and I had a little bit of an idea of something that I could do, which is, well, I mean, I could do the Haas career just to make, you know, a second season a little bit more interesting. Although I don't know if I have the energy to do another full season, so maybe in the future or something like that. But and hear me out, this is probably a fantastic idea. Now that I know how to stream, I could actually do a main stream, just one, on the main channel. And the main reason is because I had this little idea, which is going to my mind from a little while, which is trying to actually do a stream for the 100k subscribers, which is, you know, something that happened a little bit of time ago, like 2022. But differently from the 1k subscribers milestone, I didn't actually do something special. Like, when I hit 1k, I was like, oh yeah, let's do a FAQ or something. So I did a FAQ, I answered some questions, and that was a fun little video. But you know, for 100k I didn't do anything, and I felt like a little bit, it was a little bit lazy from my side. So I was like, yeah, maybe I could try and maybe do a stream or something, which could be a nice way to yap and just answer questions live. Or just say something controversial live, although I don't think I'm gonna go full control. I mean, I don't think I've ever said anything controversial during these streams. Maybe something slipped, but that's because I don't speak English too well. But yeah, I mean, that could be an idea. I have to still, let's say, think about it, really. But I still have it in mind. And the only thing I have actually to guess is what can I actually stream, because, you know, yeah, I can stream, I can yap whatever you like or whatever, but I actually have to, you know, bring something to the stream. Like, Formula 1 Manager is an easy game to stream because, as you can see, if everything goes right, you don't actually have to do anything, really. But I feel like also there could be better games. Like, I would love to, I don't know, streams, I don't know, Ace Combat Zero, which is one of my favorite games ever, or just Ace Combat 4, although it's a bit longer as a game. Or there's this game, Tugesh Shakai, which I have on Steam, but yeah, I mean, I could still think about it. Another cool thing I could do is actually stream from time to time, maybe me editing videos, although I don't do that too often, really. But, you know, once the season is over, I'll have to start working on the season recap, which, yes, I confirm, of course, that I will try at least to make it come out as soon as possible. I mean, of course, all depends on how we organize things with Lightroom and Formula 1 for All, of course. If they want to actually partake the project, I hope they do, because they are fantastic at editing videos. But if they don't, I don't play them, really. But yeah, it could be a cool stuff also to maybe do a little bit of a streaming on editing videos, just to let everyone see the process behind making the full autism you actually see on the videos on the main channel. That could be a cool idea, maybe. Yeah, the ideas are there, of course. Could be a little bit of a spoiler maybe for the main video, but who knows. Nothing more controversial about your videos except the time you try to say retired, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that slipped, but as I said, I wasn't trying to say anything bad about the driver, which was Hartley, of course. But that slipped mainly because the pronunciation of retired is a little bit close to another word which sounds like that, but it's not really that. So my bad on that. Sorry about that. And also, Parrots just fucking died. Parrots, you good? Don't worry. I mean, I'm still yapping about maybe stuff to do or anything, but I'm not even sure myself if I'm gonna do that or not. So, I mean, I'll of course maybe try and tell if I'm gonna do something before I actually do, but nothing is certain in this world, so don't worry about it too much. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's all good, really. Let's all just chill out a little bit. Anyway, Parrots has a terminal issue, although I don't know what kind of issue it is. Send him to Formula 4 South Africa. I mean, that'd be cool. I actually love Kailami as a track, so let's fucking go, I guess. I kinda hope to see Kailami in Formula 1 one day. I feel like it's a cool track. Also, how is Parrots with a terminal engine issue overtaking Testy? Mate, are you okay? Let me check, what kind of mechanical issue have you got?
Oh no, la situazione sembra critica.
No, actually, not really, Parrots. What kind of mechanical issue have you got? What the fuck? What? Where can I check that? Was it here? Here? Here maybe? Nope. Here maybe? Yes it is. So where is Parrots? Parrots, how are you doing? Oh, it's the ERS. Alright, nothing too bad then. Anyway, as Parrots fights back, Norris manages to get past Albon and into P4 and still trying to chase Hamilton, although not too successfully. And Giovinazzi should be pitting quite soon, so will Leclerc. Let's see though, I'm a little bit more afraid about Hamilton because he could, well, do exactly this. So, yeah, I was just about to say he may be trying an undercut, and as I say that, he goes into the pit lane to try exactly that, so, yeah. But yeah, if you want to pirate music for a video, I got you there. I got a collection. Don't worry, I know how to pirate music or whatever. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, like 100% honest. Just like me, just 100% of the people who edit things on YouTube, nothing as music or clips or whatever you see in the video is actually owned legally, like strict legally, because let's be completely honest, to actually buy music to use in a video, that'd be a little bit too much effort and money to just make shitpost, really. So most people would do this kind of thing, which is just like, you know, download the music from YouTube itself, use it in the video by themselves, and then of course just do that. Of course I understand the people that actually try to monetize the video, which, you know, makes sense that you actually don't kind of want to use copyrighted music to get money from a video, because as soon as YouTube recognize that you're using copyrighted content, it's like, hey, you cannot monetize that, you fucker. So I understand people that do that. Usually I kind of ignore that, mainly because I don't care about money, really. I just do this for fun, so I'm like, yeah, if I can monetize a video, cool, I'll do that. But if I can't, that's cool, I'm just not gonna monetize that. I just care about making a fun video for everyone. So that's the main point. I feel like the world would work a little bit better if people started thinking this way, like, let's not think about money, let's think about having fun. Sadly, the world revolves around money, so that's how things work sometimes. Anyway, I got pinged on Discord twice by a friend of mine. I'm gonna answer real quick to him. There we go. And also another ping somewhere. Here. Yeah, nothing too interesting. Anyway, watching now Gioberto Giovinazzi, who's gonna go into the pit lane this lap and see what kind of a pit stop he can get. Yeah, but Chuck is on the next lap, so, and also, funnily enough, due to the fact that he has this much of a tire delta, if I actually forget about this, he's not in a bad situation. So, yeah, I'm gonna remember to pit him. Thanks for the reminder, but of course it's not gonna be too critical as last time. Actually, let me just do it right now to be completely fair. There we go. So, Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi, go into the pit lane, please. Let's go ski. So, come on pit crew, give us a nice stop. We should come out ahead of Hamilton if possible. We should be able to, but you never know. It's 2.6. Our usual stop, really. And now, let's see if we are ahead of Hamilton or behind. Maloney is into the pit lane and Hamilton is fighting Alonso right behind. Yeah, it's a little bit farther away. So there we go, out of the pit lane. Is there anyone in turn 1 as we come out? Yes it is, but it's Tsunoda. And we should stay ahead, but of course we have to heat up the tires, so maybe that could take a little bit of a while. But we are good, so it's okay. Now, back to Leclerc. We're gonna pit, take on the soft tires, and then go for the fastest lap attempt. The very next lap, so yeah, we're gonna do like a tire heat up lap, and then of course go full fuck it with ball in the very next lap. Actually, let me tell him to harvest right now, and then we're gonna just ball. There we go, pit lane, soft tires on, 2.8, fantastic stop. This is a new world record for us. Not really, I think our fastest stop was at 2.4 maybe once, so yeah, a little bit embarrassing, but it's okay I guess. And we come out easily in P1 once again. So, of course, as I said, harvesting, getting a little bit of temperature into the tires, and then we're gonna absolutely blast through the next lap to try and get the fastest lap. Actually, we're gonna go on board with Leclerc for the fastest lap attempt. Of course, now he's harvesting, so nothing too interesting. Right now, the fastest lap we should aim for is a 126.0. So, Leclerc, do you think it's actually possible to go faster than that? Hopefully it is, because if it isn't, you're gonna get fired. No, I mean, it's a little bit harsh to actually fire him over this, but that'd be funny. But no, let's go. Let's get a little bit of heat into the tires. Maybe I should do 2 push laps, 2 heat up laps before actually going for it, so maybe I'm gonna do that. But yeah, once the tires are up to temperature, we're gonna absolutely blast it. So yeah, let's do 2 laps actually, let's not be hasty. Meanwhile, Giovinazzi gets the DRS from Bottas, who is absolutely dying currently with his engine issues. Perez somehow is still alive, although his car has literally no battery right now, so I don't know how he's doing this, but he's doing this. Albon and Norris instead are fighting like hell, holy shit. Norris gets ahead, Albon doesn't want to leave him go, and they are fighting as hard as possible. I know you don't need it, but it would be honored if I help with our captain anyway. I can. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not like I don't want people to help me. I mean, it would be nice, but of course the main thing is that I don't want to bother people by giving them stuff to do. I mean, the main thing I want to do with the recap is like, relax lads, I got this, and then I'll just, I don't know, pull something out of the bag at the last moment possible. I mean, most of the times I don't really want to do that at the last moment possible. I'm a very anxious person, so I try to get stuff done as quickly as possible. But sometimes due to the fact that it's a collab, most of the times I have to wait for other clips to be done by mainly Lightroom and Fofa. So the main reason most of the times, at least last 2 years, the recap came out at the last possible moment was because I had to wait for the very last minute for the clips for I think it was Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi last year to come to be able to put on the video. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, don't worry about that. If I need help, actually, I'll ask. So, you know, maybe something could be asked. Happens sometimes that they needed maybe a clip for the race or whatever, and ask for help to the Discord. So if that happens, of course, I'm gonna ask, but it's nothing too crucial or critical, really. Anyway, Leclerc, let's fucking go, I guess. Let's see if we can get the fastest lap now. Let's check out the splits, by the way, as Norris goes into the pit lane. The only thing we won't have, of course, is the DRS, which is a shame, but we can live without. as Giovinazzi gets ahead of Norris, but that's due to the fact that Norris actually got into the pit lane. So sector 1 is purple, temperature is finally in the tires, and Giovinazzi got ahead of Albon. I'm gonna look at the overtake quite soon. Can we get the replay? Thank you. Let's check it out. It was into turn 1, was it? Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Nice job, Joe. I mean, it's gonna be difficult to keep him behind now with without the DRS, but I like the overtake, so I'll give it a 10. Anyway, into the braking zone. Leclerc going as hard as possible. Now, moving into the chicane, using all the battery possible here. And let's see how's the second split. We should be after that corner here. Or before. Where was the split? I think it was here, but I'm not sure. It was here, and it's another purple. Alright, so Giovinazzi fighting once again Albon with overtaking and counter overtaking. I feel like Albon is going to be able to pull through maybe. Anyway, into the last sector for Charles Leclerc. He's going to be able to fight through. Albon, I think, got through maybe. No, he's still behind. Is he? Yes, it is. So, through the last few corners, have we got it? It was a 1:26, I think, 25 lap to beat, and we got a 1:24.3. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna probably last long enough for the end of the race. Meanwhile, Giovinazzi managed to get ahead of Albon, and Albon had enough and went into the pit lane, and he was fighting with Norris. In all of this, Piastri is 5th somehow, so actually 4th once that Albon is into the pit lane, although I feel like Piastri maybe, yeah, he's gonna into the pit lane, so sadly, the agenda will probably not be maintained as hard as we thought this time. But now, let's check out where he's gonna come out of. Currently P7, probably P8 as well. I think he's gonna be a little bit out of the points, but I feel like with the soft tires, he can still give us some big emotions, so go on Piastri, show us how it's done. Meanwhile, Albon behind Norris, Perez without the ERS is now behind Albon, and of course, struggling, Hamilton instead did a fantastic job and now he's in P3, and just 4 seconds behind Giovinazzi, so, you know, he actually managed to do something, and I feel like he could be able to catch him. Maybe. It's an uphill battle, of course, but he should have something maybe to do so. But here we are, still going stronger, still breathing, still fighting, and we just, well, 15 laps to go just now. Maybe Giovinazzi is getting a little traffic, could it be? Joe, are you getting traffic? Yes, you have an Alpine. I feel like it's Denis Hauger, isn't it? Yep, it is. So hopefully Hauger gets the blue flag and let us through without actually hitting us like he did with Leclerc in Hungary, which was very not fucking nice by his side, but it's alright, I guess. So I'll just keep an eye to see if the blue flags actually will get him blue flagged. Hopefully they will. As you can see, Hauger looking behind at Giovinazzi, getting closer. Joe already probably complaining about blue flags. I mean, not really, but I'd like to think that he's doing that. Into the hairpin, which is not an hairpin, it's a chicane. Giovinazzi maybe has DRS. Yes, he does, so at least he gave us DRS, that's something. But as he gave us DRS, he's still not getting out of the fucking way, so yeah. Hauger being Hauger, as usual. I guess he's gonna probably crash into Giovinazzi at this point. Almost. But thankfully, he let Giovinazzi through, so we won't have to worry about him too much for now. Which is better, really, than usual. Hamilton, he's right here. Keeping a nice pace, I have to say. And here it is Maloney, fighting now with our friend Lando Norris. In all this, Piastri is reaching Russell, and he's probably gonna try to get into the points sooner rather than later, in these last few parts of the race. And while we wait, let's see if Norris can get through Maloney, and then he will have to, you know, bridge a 12-second gap to reach Hamilton, which I feel like it's a little bit undoable, really. So let's see. Maloney has actually DRS from Bottas, I mean not on the straight of course, but Still, he's close enough to actually have a little bit of help. Let's see though. Through the S's. Will Bottas get out of the way before it's too late? I think he's trying. He's not trying well enough, I have to say. Getting very much in the middle of this fight. And now finally moving out of the way and getting in the way instead of Norris. So, fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic job by Bottas. So Norris is not gonna surrender though. He's gonna try and go onto the inside of Maloney, and Maloney is gonna try and keep it. Side by side, Norris doesn't manage to do the overtake, but that's no problem because now he has DRS and is gonna be able to try and complete the maneuver here. So let's see, will he be able to brake later? I mean, doesn't need to because he's still ahead before the braking point. So Norris up to P4 and now has 11 seconds, actually 12 seconds to gap in, well, 14 laps or something to get to Hamilton, which I feel like will not really happen. In all of this, Perez struggling and getting overtaken by Alonso. So yeah, the Perez sufferance is real, and in all of this, quietly, Piastri managed to get into P10 and may be able, probably in the next few laps, to actually overtake Perez. So I'm gonna keep an eye on him because that'd be fantastic really to see a Kick Sauber overtake the Mercedes. So let's see. A Mercedes, what the fuck am I saying? A Kick Sauber overtaking the Red Bull. Which is funny because if you think about it, last race in Mexico, like Red Bull was so bad with the hard tires that his race pace was actually, if I remember correctly, slower than the Haas, which is something, I have to say. Well, not something to be proud of really, but something, to be completely fair, something. Anyway, Perez definitively going to Formula 4. I mean, it went well in this season, I have to say. Like, of the two Red Bulls, I feel like he went better than Albon in most situations. But still, I have to say that probably Albon and Perez is not really a strong lineup for Red Bull. Maybe with a stronger driver like, I don't know, Alonso, I think like would absolutely blast with a Red Bull. Hamilton, Verstappen, for fucking example, or whatever. Red Bull would be a lot better. But sadly, they dropped Verstappen, they got this lineup. And well, at least they don't have Vesti, they did last season and it went horribly. So yeah, that's about it. Anyway, our friend Piastri here finally managed to catch Perez, or Pedal. And now he's gonna study a way to get past through the Red Bull. He's gonna probably wait for the DRS, if I have to guess at least. So let's watch this battle from the helicopter cam. As you can see, Perez struggling in acceleration in a straight line. That's because his battery is dead, like completely. So now he's gonna go uphill, go below the hill, and now here, after the hairpin, you will see the difference between using the battery and not using it at all. And yeah, you can see how before even the DRS gets open, Piastri is already on the tack. And on a straight line, a little bit of a struggle to get through the Red Bull, but here he goes, and the soft tires should manage to get him an easy braking maneuver to Perez. Now, into the chicane, Perez is already behind, will have DRS though, but without the battery he's gonna lose a shit ton of time here. Go behind quite a lot, and I think that's about it. I feel like Piastri managed to get through Perez, and now he's gonna run away quite easily in P9, which once again became the norm really for Piastri and the Kick Sauber, which is not something I would have expected considering that Kick Sauber is still, you know, the Kick Sauber. Perez still is not letting him go, so maybe he's gonna have a second win, just maybe. Let's see though. Staying close as much as you possibly can without a battery. Actually, how can I see the battery on the wheel? So on the wheel it says that he has 21% battery, but as you can see it's not going down, neither up. So I feel like it's like stuck in 21%. It's gonna stay like this kind of forever. So a little bit of a sad moment here for Perez, but I guess it can happen. A mechanical fault can still happen from time to time. So Perez is gonna get DRS at least. Don't know how he managed to get close enough to Piastri to have DRS. But it managed to, and now with DRS, I don't think he's gonna be able to catch back and re-overtake the Quicksilver, but surely he's gonna be able to stay at least a little bit closer than usual. There goes into the braking point now. Braking a shit ton later than Piastri. But Piastri here just uses a little bit of battery, and Perez, once again, has to, well, try and stay in the DRS. He still has, of course. He's gonna get closer here. But I feel like it's a losing battle here for the Red Bull, so he's gonna stay here, of course, but it's gonna be harsh. Also, in all of this, I missed out Norris and Albon fighting it out, and Albon getting ahead of Norris. So, in all of this, at least the other Red Bull is doing his absolute best and managing to actually get some nice little points for the team in the last race of the season. I actually don't know if there's a championship battle here between the other teams, because, you know, we just blasted away with 900 and something points, so we are not really in risk of anything. But I don't know if other teams actually are fighting for P2 or P3, so who knows? We'll find out if there were overtakes on the last race of the championship. But I feel like we are pretty much done, with McLaren still being quite strong, Norris, Perez, Hamilton, and Alonso also being the protagonist of this season, Piastri as well being the underdog. And yeah, all in all, a nice little season. A fun season also. Notice Piastri finally gets to our friend Bottas, gets ahead, brakes really late, and now has to get away as Perez finally got behind the second window and now will drop off like a stone from the points. 8 laps to go. We still are a little bit below on fuel, but I feel like we should be able in 8 laps to get this kilo off our car. Hopefully, because otherwise we're not gonna finish the race, and that's gonna be a little bit suboptimal if it happens. Funny. I mean, if it happens, it's gonna be funny, which means that we're not gonna win the race because we underfueled the car a little bit too much. But at the same time, I'm not gonna complain. That'd be quite funny, in my opinion. I didn't calculate how much we were saving, actually. We should be technically be saving enough, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried about this, you know. Lads, can we have a little bit more, you know, lift and coast, please? I'm starting to get a tad worried, I have to say. You know, a full kilo of fuel is kind of a lot. I mean, with 8 laps to go, actually 7 laps to go soon enough. Actually, no, 8 laps to go. We should be saving 0.4 per lap, I think. Should be. No, actually, no, 0.4 per lap, it's a little bit too much. We should be saving... I mean, 0.1 should be enough. I mean, a little bit more than 0.1, like 0.2, 0.1.5, but still, it's... I feel like it's a little bit closer than I would like. But I'm gonna have faith in my pilots. I'm gonna believe that we're gonna make it. And if we're not, then my bad, lads. I had a little bit of a miscalculation on the fuel, but... well, oh well, it happens, I guess. We should be able to go to the end, though. Last famous words before the catastrophe. Also, in all of this, Russell has reached Perez. Let's see from Russell. How is he gonna overtake Sergio? Sergio, also known as the Perez. Already onto the first corner, is he? Having a look, of course. Still no way through. And he stays behind, yeah. Also, Albon got overtaken by Norris. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is that if we DNF, we still win both championships, which is funny enough, so... yeah, I mean, that'd be funny, I wouldn't even be mad. I mean, it'd be a shame to lose the victory on the last race of the season like this, but it'd be funny at least, so I'm gonna give a thumbs up to that at least. Anyway, here's Russell fighting Perez. Perez fighting hard. That Mercedes has no straight line speed though. And he gets the traction, of course, with the battery. Now has to fight Perez maybe. Bottas also is there for some reason, but I don't think it's gonna be quite a helpful hand for friend Russell here. So there we go, through the big ass corner. Trying his absolute best to stay close. We are 0.6, yeah, I think we are good with fuel. We should be fine, we should be fine. Whatever happens, happens. Right, yeah, no, Bottas is not helping at all right now with Russell. And Russell is absolutely begging, there we go, to let be let past. Thankfully, he got let past. But, you know, Perez is still there, and I feel like it's gonna be a little bit of an issue now. Because as we've seen, the Mercedes doesn't look too quick on a straight line, while the Red Bulls is quite the car in a straight line. So I'm gonna be a little bit worried about this, and say that probably Perez is gonna be able to get ahead, although without the battery. So let's see, the fight for a singular point is on. Can Perez get through? Using every inch of nothing really, but now, down the inside, braking as late as he possibly can. Russell doesn't want to yield at all, and doesn't yield at all, and now uses the battery to try and run away, but of course Perez has DRS, but no battery. So will he be able to actually sneak in through before the last corner here? He is not, although he has a look, but nothing too bad. Also Best is there, having his little looks around, and all of this I'm checking out Albon, who is getting closer and closer to Hamilton, so maybe, just maybe, the fight for the podium is not over. Just maybe, of course. But we will have to see. Now, Russell should use a little bit of overtake if he wants to, you know, get away from Perez. But now it looks like he's maybe in a little bit of a better situation. Piastri in all of this cannot catch Alonso. Alonso can indeed catch Tsunoda instead, so I'm gonna actually check this out real quick. There we go, Tsunoda versus Alonso for P7. Can Tsunoda keep the position, or will Alonso be able to complete one hell of a maneuver with the Aston Martin right here? Into the braking point, nothing to do. 5 laps to go, they say, but I think it's a little bit... no, actually it's 5 laps, so it's okay. Anyway, DRS open once again for Fernando Alonso. Is he gonna go down the inside? Yes, he is. Is he gonna be able to brake late? Yes, he is. He's gonna be able to complete the maneuver. No, he is not. Fantastic defense by Tsunoda, who decides to defend by not defending the line, which is the better kind of defense in that corner. And now, while he stays ahead, he will have to survive another sector, 2 sectors actually, before Alonso has another chance to use the DRS and attack him. You know, I have to say this is looking like the most realistic race so far with the DRS and everything, mainly because, you know, all the tracks don't really work because they have too much DRS works. But here, Abu Dhabi is actually looking like an actual Formula 1 race, which I enjoy. So fantastic. Now, let's see. Can Alonso find a way through our friend Yuki Tsunoda? Into the hairpin. Both close together. Alonso getting ready to open DRS on the exit. DRS gets open, the gap is 0.3. And Alonso is absolutely going for it. Full attack, full power on the straight. And before the braking point, he's ahead. Now he will have to worry a little bit about Tsunoda. Also, yeah, we are good on fuel, so that's good news. We're gonna be able to finish this race. But in all of this, Tsunoda counter-attacking with his DRS. Will he be able to actually get back through Alonso into the braking point? He's gonna try to go around the inside. He's gonna try like Alonso did on the last lap, but like he did on the last lap, he's not able to complete the maneuver. That also gets up into P7 with just a few laps to go. And as Alonso runs away from Tsunoda, who is trying his absolute best to stay close, although maybe with a little bit of difficulty, of course. We're gonna switch quite soon to another battle. I mean, not really a battle, because Perez versus Russell is still going on, but I feel like it's not gonna evolve into anything too crazy, really. We're gonna stay here on Tsunoda versus Alonso, although I feel like Alonso should have the legs to run away now. As you can see, 0.8. I feel like Tsunoda will stay close here with the DRS, of course, but nothing more than that. And as Tsunoda opens the DRS to try and get back through Alonso, which I feel like maybe it's a little bit more likely than I would like to think. Let's see, into the braking point. He has a look, actually. He decides to try. 3 laps to go in all of this. Perez still fighting for that singular point, by the way. Albon got back through Norris in all of this, by the way. And this time, Tsunoda is having none of it and gets back through Alonso. So the fight rages on here between these two. The fight for P7. Also, Vesti got Perez, so I feel like the Perez battle is over for P10. But still, I'm gonna concentrate on this one because I feel like it's interesting enough, in my opinion. I'm gonna stretch. There we go. Stretched enough. So, 3 laps to go for these two. 3 laps and a handful. Who's gonna come out on top? That's around, lads. 0.6 currently for Alonso. He's gonna, of course, open the DRS after this happened right here. Let's see now. DRS gets open. Alonso gets closer. Very much closer into the braking point. He's gonna try on the inside. Side by side through this sector. Trying their absolute best to fight each other, but Tsunoda defends, which is not a wise choice because now Alonso has the DRS and is gonna be able to blast through quite easily. Meanwhile, penultimate lap for the leaders. And there he goes. Alonso is once again back through. Now Tsunoda is in a little bit of a predicament because he's far back from Alonso, and if he loses too much time he may lose DRS and, well, the battle really. And I feel like this is it because he's out of the 1 second window, and that could mark the end of the Aston Martin versus Vicarb battle at the end of the season. Now, as we see these two go on for a little bit longer, and as we see Vesti getting the last point of the top 10, we're gonna switch, actually, quite soon to something else. Because as Vesti gets away from the DRS zone of Russell, so manages to actually consolidate his position a little bit more, and tries desperately to catch in 2 laps the 4 seconds gap to Piastri, we're gonna concentrate now on, well, something a little bit more special, which is here. The last lap of this season by Charles Leclerc. We started this whole season in Australia with a pole position by Charles Leclerc, and we had a dominant race there, which ended up with one final lap, an emotional final lap for me, for Charles Leclerc winning his first race with my team. And there we are, on the last race of the season, on the last lap, finishing as we started, which is of course on the top of the 22 pilots leaderboard. But there we go. Now, through the end of Sector 1, into the only real technical corner of this track, not really the entirety of Sector 3 of course, but onto the other overtaking maneuver points, let's say, the other straight, which ended up being protagonist of a lot of battles here today. And now, through the last corner that decides 2021 season, we're gonna go into the last sector, the most technical one, the one with most braking points, the most mediums to low speed corners, one of my favorite sectors really. And there we go, through the hotel now, going wide but not too wide, getting close to the wall but not too close, and through the last 2 corners, Charles Leclerc concludes the season as a world champion with Impact Blue and the Shitbox 03. There we go. And just 24 seconds behind, had a very nice race himself as well, Giovinazzi is gonna finish the race in P2. There we go, through the last two corners here. Then, just 10 seconds behind, we have Lewis Hamilton, who manages in the end to hold on to P3 and finish with a fantastic podium for Ferrari on the last race of the season. Then Albon bringing on a fantastic and bringing the flag home for the Red Bull on the last race. Norris sadly just P5. Maloney a fantastic final race in P6. Then we got Alonso, who's gonna be happy for P7. Tsunoda defeated but still in P8, so good points. Then 9 seconds behind, we don't know how, but once again he's in the points. Oscar Piastri finishes P9 with Kick Sauber. Then we got Vesti getting the last point of the top 10. And then of course we got Russell, who sadly couldn't get the points. Ocon P12. Then with the single battery Perez, and last but not least of the unlapped, we got Daniel Ricciardo. And that is it. Now we're gonna check of course the leaderboards, as we said, to see how everything went throughout the season. And we got achievement for both of course Driver Championship and Constructor Championship, which kinda proves you that this was my first time getting the championship in this game, which is cool to share with y'all.
Dimmi, come saranno gli animi nel garage della squadra dopo questa conclusione?
Una vittoria e un podio. Onestamente non poteva andare meglio. È un modo trionfale per chiudere questo weekend.
E con questo si conclude la diretta da Abu
Yeah, it kinda should, really.
La stagione di Formula 1 si chiude qui. Le squadre si daranno da fare durante la pausa per prepararsi a un nuovo anno di emozionante Formula 1.
But there we go. Giovinazzi, 5 position ups at the start. We got Fernando Alonso, who did a shit hell of a race. Like, I mean, a great race, really. And then other nice drivers behind, but nothing too interesting. As for championship, Driver Championship, we got Leclerc and Giovinazzi P1 and P2, as expected. Hamilton ended up third in the championship, so fantastic job by him. Norris just behind by not too many points in P4. Alonso did a fantastic job by finishing in P5. Perez P6, followed by not too much by Albon. Then we got Maloney, also doing a fantastic job. Then Tsunoda and Oscar Piastri in 10th with a Kick Sauber, ahead of George fucking Russell in the Mercedes. Then the two halves of Magnussen and Ricciardo. Then we got Vesti P14, which is, well, underwhelming considering how fast McLaren should be. Then Gasly 15 with Williams, Bottas 16th, Ocon 17th. Then we got Maini with 2 points, 19th, and then all the non-point scorers, which are Dennis Hauger. I am so happy to see you without a single point, you fucker. Gonyed Joganu and Stoffel Van Dorn. As for constructors, we are of course Constructor Championship, and by just 2 points we couldn't get 1,000 singular points. But I cannot really complain too much. I feel like we did a great job, really. Then Ferrari is second in the championship, so fantastic job by them. Red Bull finished third. McLaren fourth, which I feel like has been hindered by a lot by Vesti's poor performances. Then Aston Martin, Mercedes, RB, Kick Sauber, Haas, Williams, and Alpine. Of course, we are nowhere near the DHL fastest lap award. Same with how it went really completely, as Red Bull had the fastest pit stop ever. And to finish everything, we have all report on the, of course, pit stops. That being said, yeah, it's over. The whole championship, the whole season is over. It was fantastic to bring this stuff to you. It was fun, in my opinion, to do this whole adventure with all. And that being said, well, who knows? Maybe I'll do another season, maybe I will not. I don't know really. I'll think about it maybe in the next few days or something, or maybe months, or never really, I don't know. But that being said, it was a nice season, and I hope to see you soon, someday, some night, I don't know. So, see you, Space Cowboy. Bye bye.